Okay, the slope Y-intercept form bugs me. It should be a lowercase y. The slope Y-intercept form of a line, or y equals mx plus b. If you wanted to draw the graph of y equals 2x plus 6, you could generate some points using a table of values, or you could recognize that this is a special form for the equation of a line. If the equation of a line is written in slope y, lowercase y, intercept form, y equals mx plus b, then we know that m is the slope of the line and b is the y-intercept. Note, since all lines written in the form y equals mx plus b will be functions, we can also use function notation to describe them. So we can write f of x equals mx plus b. Alright, a line has a slope of negative 2/5 and a y-intercept of 3. Draw this line on the grid. So we start with the y-intercept. Negative 2/5 says go down 2, right 5. But it also says, remember, negative 2/5 says down 2, right 5, but it also says up 2, left 5. So up 2, left 5. And I never want to draw a line with fewer than a few points if I can avoid it, since I want to make sure that I've drawn the correct line, and these 3 points should line up. State the equation of this line. Y equals negative 2/5 x plus 3, right? Y equals mx plus b. Use your equation to find the value of y when x equals 15. Okay, so formula or equation, substitution, got a bit sloppy, substitution, y equals negative 2/5 times 15, or I'm going to write this as 15 over 1, just makes my life a little bit easier, plus 3. 5 goes into 15 3 times. We get negative 6 plus 3, so y is equal to negative 3. Verify your answers with a graphing calculator. I must have put away the graphing calculator. Hang on, I'll be back. Okay, so let's set the window to match this, negative 6 to 6 by 1s, and y values go from negative 5 to 6. And we're going to put in negative 2/5, so negative 2/5 x plus 3. And let's graph that. So there's our y-intercept, and we can see that these graphs look pretty close to the same there. Verify your answer, so I want a value, so I go second function calc, and I put in an x value of 15, and I get this error. And what that means is that I need my window to actually go up to an x max of at least 15, so I can set that to 20 for my x max, and even if the point, so second calc value, and we'll put in an x value of 15, and we get the y value of negative 3. Okay, so as long as your window includes the x value, that's just a little quirk of the calculator. It's just how it works. A line is drawn to the grid on the right. Remember, real lines have arrows. State the equation of this line using function notation. Okay, so we have a y-intercept of 4, and we've got a slope of 1, 1, 2, 3, 1/3. So function notation says f of x is equal to m slope 1/3. Oops, that's an x, not an m. 1/3 x plus b, which is 4. So f of x is 1/3 x plus 4. Use your equation to find the value of the function when x equals 30. Now, that's just a fancy way of saying f of 30. But, okay, this is close enough, I'm going to say. So f of 30 is 1/3 of 30. Now, I'm going to write it as 30 over 1, make my life a little bit easier here, right? 3 goes into 30 10 times, 10 plus 4. So f of 30 is 14. Okay, remember f of 30 is simply the same way as saying what's the y value when x equals 30, right? What's the value of the function when x equals 30? That's what f of 30 does. A line is defined by the equation 5 minus 2x. Well, we might want to rewrite that as negative 2x plus 5. So the slope is negative 2 and the y-intercept is 5. Right, another way to say slope is negative 2, of course, is to say m equals negative 2. A line is defined by the equation 2y. So we need to rewrite this. We're going to divide everything by 2. So this will be 3 halves x minus 4. So the slope is 3 halves, and the y-intercept is negative 4. So rearrange into y equals form, right? Y equals mx plus b, and there you go. 0.75. 0.75 is 3/4, right? So this is really y equals 3/4 x minus 1. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3, 4. Can't go 4 that way, so I'm going to go down 3. 1, 2, 3, 4, and left 4. Oh, yeah. Let's try that again. And there we go. State the equation of the line that has a y-intercept of 1 and is parallel. So parallel, remember, we need the same slopes. So it'll be negative 2/3 x and a y-intercept of 1 plus 1. Perpendicular, so here we say the slope perpendicular is the negative reciprocal, which is 3/2. So the equation we're looking for is y equals 3 halves x goes through 1 plus 1. State the equation of the line that has a y-intercept of negative 7 and is parallel, same slope. So y equals 4x minus 7. Perpendicular, so the slope perpendicular is, remember that slope is 4/1, so it'll be negative 1/4. So this is y is equal to negative 1/4 x minus 7. The equation of a line is defined by y equals mx minus 6. If this line passes through the point 2, 4, so formula, y equals mx minus 6. Substitution, we know that y is 4. When x is 2, so 4 is equal to 2m minus 6. 2m is equal to, move that over there, add, right, 10. So really we get 10 equals 2m, and then just reverse the order of writing. And m equals 5. And determine means show your work. You can't just write it down. You can't do this in your head. You got to show what you're doing. The equation of a line is defined by negative 3 halves x plus b. If the line passes through the point negative 4, 7, then determine the value of b. Okay, so here's our formula. We know that y is 7. When x is negative 4, now since it's fraction, I'm just going to write it as negative 4/1, right? Plus 7. Oh, determine the value of b. Why am that's not a 7, that's a b. A little confused. Okay. Alright, so we have a negative times a negative is positive. Right, this is negative 2. So we get 7 is equal to 6 plus b. Nice, 6. So b is equal to 1. Alright, again, what we're doing is we're just substituting in, right? We have a formula, we have something to substitute in, an ordered pair, an x, y. Application questions. Remember, slope is the rate of change. Cost of a banquet is $200 for the hall rental plus $15 a guest. Complete the following table of values and use them to sketch the graph. Okay, we did these already, didn't we? Okay, 20 times 15 is 300 plus 200 will be 500. 600 plus 200 is 800. And 1400, 1700, and this is 3200. I should be writing this sideways, but I don't write sideways on that one, so I'm just going to say cost in dollars, right? We need units on there, and number of guests. And we don't need units because number of guests is a number. Okay, plot them. Sketch the graph, plot. So 0, 200. If nobody comes, it's $200 for the hall rental. 800, 60 is 1100, 80 is 1400. You can see how they're almost on a straight line because I put that one in the wrong place, which is why I plot all the points, because then you can see that, hey, that something's not right. That's not on a straight line. 100 is 1700, and 200 is 3200. Okay, these are discrete. We don't join them with a line, but then, you know, we do often draw a line in this situation to look for the trend. Write an equation that relates the total cost. Okay, so remember, rate of change is slope, and it's $15 per guest. And remember, we're using the variables C and N, so C is equal to 15N plus 200. Is your equation in this form? Yes. Although maybe somebody would have written C is equal to 200 plus 15N, in which case, no, but it could be rearranged, so yes, it is. What is the rate of change? $15 per guest. Include units and describe it in words. The cost of each additional guest. I like this tablet, it's relative. Is $15. State the equation for the following graph using function notation. So we've got altitude as a function of time using appropriate variables. My rate of change, well, we go down 2,000 minus 2004, right? So minus 2,000 meters in 4 minutes will be negative 500 t, and the initial value plus 10,000, which only has that, no, geez, I was right in the first place. Why did that look wrong? Plus 10,000. Woo, that's all we're doing on that one. The volume V of T of gas left in a car tank in liters after T hours. So this is I'm trying to draw sideways here, so that's why the E came up backwards. Volume in liters, that's an L. And this is time in hours. Draw the graph, scale, and label the axes. So we need to get 100 liters, 10, 20, 30, 40, 50, 60. So that looks good. So I think we can go with tens. And then we'll halves, 2, 2.5, 3, 3.5, 4, 4.5, 5, because I know by examination this is going to take 5 hours. Draw the graph. So 100 minus 20t says go down 20 for every hour, go down 20 for every hour, and down 20 for every hour. And this is in fact continuous and doesn't get arrows. It's not a linear, there is an equation, right, but there is a restriction on the domain, which is that it goes from 0 to 5, and once you've run out of gas you can't use any more. What is the slope of the graph? So it's minus 20. What does it represent? 20 liters per hour used. Okay, really minus 20 liters per hour. What is the V-intercept? 100. What does it represent? Full tank of 100 liters. Okay, so now we're doing linear functions, but we've got a context with them. All right, last thing, vertical lines. What does the equation of a vertical line look like? What does the equation? So a horizontal line is of the form y equals k. So the equation of this line is y equals 2. The equation defines the line because the y value is always equal to 2. So it says y is 2. What do you know about the vertical line shown to the right? Well, we know the x value is 2. The x value is always 2. So what's the equation? Well, x is 2. X equals 2. Draw the lines x equals negative 1. Oh my god. All right, let's try and get something. There. X equals negative 1 and x equals 4. Remember, the edge of your calculator case works wonders. Are vertical lines functions? No, they kind of fail the vertical line tests. Are vertical lines the only lines that are not functions? Well, okay, so remember, if we're talking lines, then horizontal lines are and oblique lines are, so I guess that vertical lines are the only lines that are not functions. Write the equation of the line that's perpendicular. So here's the x-axis. If we want to be perpendicular, then we need to be a vertical line. And you pass through the point 4, 1. Well, that means your equation is x equals 4. And all vertical lines will have the equation x equals k. And this concludes the slope y-intercept of a line, along with, what else, a little bit on vertical lines.